Uh, Good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen here. A warm welcome to all of you for the second International Conference on Internet Research and Engineering, which has been organized here today. So as part of the inaugural session and the panel discussion, we have eminent members among with us, both who have joined online as well as offline. It's my privilege to welcome the members to the dais who are present physically here. Dr. S.D. Sudarshan sir, Executive Director, CDAC, Bangalore to the dais, and Shri Arvind Kumar, CCA, Government of India to the dais. Professor Lalit Kumar Awasthi, Director, NIT, Uttarakhand to the dais, please. We are also privileged and honored to have Mr. Anil Kumar Jain, CEO, NIXI, in the, online, and Ms. Asha Nangia, Scientist, MeitY, Government of India, who has also joined online, and Shri Venki, Nishtala, CTO, Rediff, who has also joined online. To welcome all of you, all the members to the dais. I request Sri Bindumada sir also to the dais. Yeah. So as before we start the program, it's a tradition to light the lamp of this thing, which removes the darkness and brings the knowledge of light to this program. So I request the honorable members who are present on the dais to light the lamp.
आरोग्यं धनसम्प्रदाय शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशय दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते। शुभं करोति कल्याणम् 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 आरोग्यं धनसम्प्रदाय शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशय दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते।
Dr. S.D. Sudarshan is Executive Director at CDAC Bangalore. He has more than 3 decades of R&D experience as researcher and manager in various domains of ICT. Prior to the current assignment, he served as R&D manager at ABB, visiting scientist at US Food and Drug Administration FDA, USA, group head at the Central Research Laboratory of Bharat Electronics Limited, and a scientist at funded R&D institutions. He is an alumnus of BITS, Bilani, and University of Arkansas at Little Rock, USA for Masters and PhD respectively. He is actively involved with professional bodies including IEEE, ACM, and IETE. He has contributed to various standard-related activities at IEC, ISO, BAS, and has served in various committees as well as task forces. He has multiple patents and research publications in peer-reviewed international journals and conferences. His areas of specialization include wireless communications, next generation networks, quantum computing, cyber physical systems, cyber security, industrial IoT, R&D management, and IPR. He leads the domains including safety and mission critical computing, quantum computing, cyber security, IOE, HPC, etc. Dr. Sudarshan is an outstanding professionalist, great mentor, industrious, and an altruist. I request you to welcome you, sir, and also request to honor all the delegates.
Namaste and good morning. Very, very privileged and honored to welcome the dignitaries on the dais and on the digital platform. The second edition of the conference addressing the internet governance is happening today. And as all of us know, internet has evolved over a long period of almost 75 plus years, starting from the early development of the OSA layer, TCP/IP stack and things like that. We have reached a stage where now we are not looking at just connecting for the sake of connecting, exchanging based on just the best effort. We have moved far ahead of that into an era where we are looking at guaranteed quality of service, integrating multiple technologies, and both best effort for general purpose usage and very, very targeted usage. And the offshoots of internet has also been enterprise level intranets, which essentially leverage on internet protocols. They all have come a very, very long way. And as we are looking at emerging quantum internet and other technologies and the current geopolitical scenario, the governance research is taking much more higher level pedestal than it was before. Earlier we were more technically worried about will it happen or not, how to make it happen. But today we are looking at it will happen, but how do you do it in a right way? Almost similar to AI, where we are talking about moral, ethical and all. The use of internet also, how we need to govern it. They are going to define the shape of humanity going forward. From that perspective, it is an excellent conference. At the outset, we will thank Ministry of Electronics and IT and NIXI for spearheading this initiative and giving CDAC the opportunity to organize this event on their behalf. And we have Ms. Asha Nangia online. She has joined from ministry. She is among many of her portfolios. One of them is also internet governance as a group coordinator of MeitY. And we also have Shri Anil Kumar Jain, CEO NIXI, who has been the person who gives the vision and direction for most of the activities that we do, including the universal acceptance event happening in India first time a month ago. So welcome sir, welcome madam for this event and joining online. In spite of the, we know the parliamentary committee requirements. Thank you very much. And here we have Mr. T. Santosh joining from MeitY, and a number of officials from MeitY are there. And on stage, we have distinguished Director of NIT Uttarakhand, Dr. Lalit Awasthi here. So he has come all the way from Srinagar. Thank you, sir. Coming from Srinagar, where there is the only connectivity is by road, and driving, given the weather conditions of yesterday and today, it is a pleasure that he has agreed to spend his time, travel and address us. And being in a location where the other distractions are on the lower side, NIT Srinagar actually does a fantastic job. If you really talk to the students community there, the kind of research, they may not be in numbers, but whoever is there, they are dedicated and they are focused. So which is what we need. Today we want deep tech kind of thing. So Dr. Lalit Awasthi himself takes the lead. He is still, like any great professors who become directors of such institutes, he continues to guide and motivate PhD students. I also interacted with a couple of his students when I visited them some time back. Thank you, sir. It is a pleasure to have you here. And then we have someone who guarantees, as much as our currency is valid with RBI governor, all our digital transactions are valid. That is completely driven by the CCA, Controller of Certifying Authorities, Sri Arvind Kumar ji here. So he has come here to be part of this very important event. And today's internet governance cannot process without the digital signature and the ecosystem that has to be driven. So one side it is about sovereignty of India and our digital transactions and what we do. On the other side, how we interoperate with the rest of the world through multilateral and other arrangements. So sir is leading it, and he also has an excellent collaborative way of working. NIXI, CDAC, NILIT, CDOT, pretty much all the ecosystem players, including, of course, RBI, because digital transaction and all are involved. So as a statutory authority, he has lot many things on his plate, but he has joined us today. Thank you very much, sir, for coming and being part of this. And he is also accompanied by the Deputy Controller Technology, Sri Ashish Banatiji, and his team. Thank you, sir, for joining here. And we have a large number of people who have joined here today from various organizations, both academic, industry, and government agencies. We welcome all of you for this event on behalf of the organizing committee. And today the events are going to be very nicely organized. To begin with, we have a discussion which will be led by Sri Anil Kumar Jain ji on how the global internet economy, what is the role of India, and as our G20 aspirations say, how do we lead the world and take the center stage in becoming the pivot of the entire system. So that will be done. And in that, nothing moves without industry becoming stronger. So we have Mr. Venki from Rediff, who has joined online. So thank you, sir, for joining, for representing the industry part from Rediff. And further, we have very, very specific selected papers in the areas, and we have a full day of activities continuously going. But towards the end, we'll again conclude with what could be the future internet, where we again have a few more experts joining, including Professor Rajat Mona, Sri Santosh ji, and they will be discussing how we are going forward. We also have Sri R.S. Mani from NIXI, who will give inputs on where internet is evolving, maybe what internet governance role will be played. And this is one area definitely the participation from public at large is very low, possibly because the awareness is very, very little at this point. So they will be addressed, and we are once again happy and privileged to have all of you here. I welcome all the team members who made this possible, and thank you to the entire team member from CDAC led by Dr. Balaji and the organizations. The India Habitat Center has been a place we habitually conduct events, so it has become kind of a default place for many of the things. This venue is so nicely placed, so we thank them also for making the venue available for this event. So with that, I warmly welcome one and all for this particular event. Then I'll request Dr. Balaji to let us honor the dignitaries who are physically here before we proceed further. I'll start with you. Sir, so I'll welcome Dr. Lalit. Yeah, so for virtual members, I think we'll send it across, and of course, two of you will come to Delhi and we'll give it, and Bombay will send it. Thank you very much for joining. So I'll hand the stage back to Dr. Balaji. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Today, we are privileged to have Professor Lalit Kumar Awasthi, who is presently the Professor and Director at National Institute of Technology, Uttarakhand, since February 2022. Earlier, he has been serving as a Director of NIT Jalandhar, and also he has had an additional charge of NIT Delhi, and then also had charges at NIT Hamirpur. Thereafter, he was officially officiating Director of NIT Hamirpur till February 2022. Professor Awasthi has an iconic track record of quality teaching, research, and academic administration and institution building. He has completed his PhD from IIT Roorkee and MTech from IIT Delhi, both in computer science and engineering. His academic career spans for more than 3 decades, in which he is involved in teaching, learning, laboratory development, infrastructure development, research, establishing new institutions, and being a founder faculty. He has been the main architect of the Computer Science Engineering Department at NIT Hamirpur. He has distinguished achievement of establishing the first computing facility at NIT Hamirpur. He also contributed to having new departmental buildings and establishing various basic and research laboratories. Under his headship, for the first time, the department started an MTech program in computer science and engineering and also in mobile computing. He also designed the MTech program in cloud computing. Professor Awasthi, while working as the head of the computer science center, as the head of the computer center at NIT Hamirpur, he established the voice and data integrated network. And he has also served as a dean at NIT Hamirpur and strengthened the alumni base of NIT Hamirpur in India and abroad. He had served as a director in Himachal Pradesh from July 2012 to September 2016. He was appointed as the founder, director, and principal of Atal Bihari Vajpayee Government Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pragati Nagar, India, to establish new institute with grant in aid of 15 crores from Shimla, India. Professor Awasthi finalized the master plan of the campus and established the institutions with laboratories and other facilities. At Pragati Nagar, he was also having the charge of the director of Jain Government Engineering College, Sundar Nagar, for almost 2 years. He also served as a founder director of MG Government Engineering College, Shimla, during that period. He also has been serving as a dean academics at the Himachal Pradesh Technical University, Hamirpur, and he has finalized a new curriculum of BTech and MTech courses and process and finalization of ordinance of the university. He joined NIT Jalandhar in October 2016 and contributed to academics, research, teaching, recruitment, internationalization of the institute, MOUs with international and national institutes, and made the institute as the 49th ranking institute in NIRF rankings. He is the recipient of the Best Faculty Award at NIT Hamirpur for 2007. He is also the recipient of the Director of the Year Award given by the Imperial Society of Innovative Engineer in the year 2020. He has international experience as he has visited University of California, Berkeley, Stanford University, University of Newcastle, UK, University of Technology, Sydney, and University of Melbourne, Australia, University of Missouri, Kansas, and University of Florence, Italy. His research interests include mobile distributed systems, sensor networks, P2P networks, and cyber security. He has handled several R&D and consultancy projects, and he has more than 250 plus research publications to his credit. He has filed 14 patents, and of them, 3 of them are design patents. One of the patents has been commercialized. An inspiring academician and mentor, he has produced 14 doctorates and guiding 8 more. With this such an illustration privilege we got here, sir, we welcome you to deliver the address.
Very good morning to one and all present here, and greetings from NIT Uttarakhand, the institute from where I belong. At present, Dr. S.D. Sudarshan, the Executive Director of CDEC Bangalore, dignitaries on the dais, online and off the dais, participants from academia, research, organization, and industry. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my proud privilege to be here on this inaugural of International Conference on Internet Research and Engineering. I thank Dr. Sudarshan, Dr. Balaji, and the organizers for giving me a space to talk to all the dignitaries and participants during this conference. As you know, the internet just evolved from some system, 3 or 4 systems connected as a project, and now you can see millions and billions of systems have been connected. We are just having network. Everyone has 1 or 2, 3, 4 devices, and right from connecting systems in laboratories to every system is connected now. Now anything you want to have, maybe sensors or IoT devices, everything is connected. And the design was initially for a limited number of computers, and then that started with IPv4, which was widely accepted, and there were a lot of changes in IPv4 which were given to accommodate more system. Now we have IPv6 and technologies like that. But with the expansion of the network system, we have a lot of security challenges associated with that. And as the system, as the technology is advanced, similarly the challenges of providing security, they also advanced, and we have a lot of things with the challenges of the internet technologies. This second edition of the conference, I'll definitely congratulate CDEC. The main focus is technical aspects of internet, security, infrastructure, resiliency, multilingual internet. As we we can define the cyber security is the method of protecting system, networks, and programs from digital attacks. Cyber attacks usually modify, assess, or destroy sensitive information and extort money from users or disrupt normal business processes. I'm just concentrating towards security only. The global cyber security market size, as has been indicated, is valued to be US dollar $153.6.5 billion in 2022. The market is projected to grow to from US dollar $17.32 billion in 2023 to US dollar $424.97 billion in 2030, exhibiting a compound annual growth rate of 13.8% during this period. The increased adoption of enterprise security solutions in manufacturing, banking, financial sector, insurance, and healthcare is expected to drive the cyber security market growth in future. Integration of technologies such as Internet of Things, machine learning, cloud technologies will further drive the market growth. In India, revenue in cyber security market is projected to reach US dollar $2.5 billion in 2023, in which largest market size is from the security services, which is projected to be US dollar $1.25 billion in 2023. Revenue to grow at compound annual growth rate of 12.87, resulting in market size of US dollar $4.57 billion by 2028. Despite the fact that cyber security measures have improved significantly in recent years, so too have the techniques of cyber criminals. This has led to the future that looks like a constant battle between those who would protect information on the system or on the network and those who would steal it. The latest trends in networks or in computing, which are giving some strength also, and similarly they are making some challenges for security. One of the biggest trend in the future of cyber security is the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies. AI and ML algorithms are able to analyze large amount of data and detect patterns and anomalies that may indicate a potential threat, which will enable organizers to quickly identify the threat and respond to cyber attacks, which will result in minimizing the damage due to cyber attacks. Artificial intelligence powered cyber security solutions can be used to automate repetitive security tasks. Also, AI and ML can be used to predict future cyber threats based on the historical data and trends. But nevertheless, the AI and ML algorithm can also be used by the cyber criminals to have new kind of threats to the network. Another trend in future of cyber security is use of blockchain technology. Blockchain is a decentralized ledger that can be used to securely store and transfer information. Because of its decentralized nature, it is much harder for cyber criminals to compromise a blockchain network, and so it is becoming increasingly popular for applications that require high levels of security. This is very much true for industries such as finance, healthcare, government, where the risk of data breach can be very high. Next, we can have rise of Internet of Things. We all know that we have smart home, Industry 4.0, smart cities, and thousands of sensors or IoT devices are used. It's also said to have major impact on the future of cybersecurity. IoT devices are becoming more common and are often used to control critical systems and infrastructure. Many IoT devices have poor security features and can be easily compromised by cyber criminals. As a result, organizations will need to implement better security solutions to protect against IoT-related cyber attacks. This may lead to updating firmware, software on IoT devices, replacing them with more secure devices. The next trend, which is seen in future cybersecurity, is collaboration between various organizations. See, various organizations can come together and they can then share the threat intelligence, best practices and resources, as well as participate in joint cyber security operations. Next, we have zero trust security model, where access to sensitive information is restricted and controlled and monitored. It reduces risk of unauthorized access and help predict these cyber attacks. The future of cyber security and quantum computing is intertwined, as quantum computing has the potential to revolutionize the way data is protected and processed. Currently, most encryption algorithms used for cyber security rely on the fact that certain mathematical problems are difficult to solve with classical computers. However, quantum computers have the ability to solve these problems much more quickly, potentially rendering the existing encryption methods obsolete. On the other hand, quantum computers can be used to develop new, more secure form of encryption, providing unprecedented level of protection for data and information. Cyber security and cloud computing are closely related, as the increased use of cloud computing has led to new security challenges. Cloud computing allows to store and process data on remote servers rather than on local devices, resulting in increased scalability and cost saving. But as sensitive data is stored on remote servers, and also it need to be transferred on the unreliable communication links, it becomes more vulnerable to cyber attacks. It may lead to unauthorized access if the cyber criminals are able to compromise security of cloud server providers. Data must be encrypted in transit and on the server as well. Next step is the next leg of this cloud computing is the fog computing, where again we have the fog nodes which can do the computation linked with the cloud, and then still the data and the application will be subject to more threats from cyber criminals. 5G is a latest technology. It presents both opportunity and challenges for cyber security. 5G offers faster and more reliable communication, and as well as increased connectivity, beneficial to industrial application. But 5G speed and increased connectivity can be used by cyber criminals to launch more sophisticated and damaging attacks. 5G network supports millions of devices, which can make them prime target for cyber criminals. Also, 5G networks, they use software-defined networks, which makes them more vulnerable to attacks. Then the attackers can take advantage of the vulnerabilities in the software. According to Cybercrime magazine, total damage globally infected by cyber criminals is expected to be $7.7 trillion by 2023. So you can see how huge this market is and what is going on. And it is also a fact that we are the second largest internet users in the world. So these solutions, if it has to come, these solutions need to come from India, and they need to be governed by India. So many of you already working in this internet area, they know what has been done and how the things are moving, and you are the people who are directly linked with the internet and cyber security. So Government of India, under the aegis of Honorable Prime Minister, they are taking so many initiatives for cyber security and cyber security related projects. So we, as the community in security or in internet, we need to come closer. The research organization like CDEC, the technically sound organization like IITs, NITs, and the vast potential of our country youth, who are already contributing this area, they need to come closer. And if there need to be a new dimension to the security arena in internet, that should come from India. With this, I wish all the very best to all participants and organizers for a successful this international conference. I hope all of you will learn and will be able to get your part from this conference related to internet technologies. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for bringing the spotlight on the most of the key areas that will be making a big impact on the internet in the future. We have been privileged to listen to this, sir. Thank you, sir. So before we move on to the panel discussion, I request Sri B.S. Bindumadava, sir, to provide a brief intro on the conference and give the background of the conference. Sri B.S. Bindumadava, sir, is a scientist G and senior director at CDAC Bangalore. He has been having more than 34 years of industry and information technology experience. He obtained his BTech degree from Electrical and Electronics Engineering from Bangalore University, postgraduate diploma in system management from NIT and MS from BITS Pilani. His research interests are in the area of network and internet security, real-time systems, agent computing, smart grid, self-management system software, and cyber-physical system security. He has filed 3 patents, authored 65 referred international national conference papers. He is a fellow of Institution of Engineers and fellow of IETE. He is a senior member and immediate past chairman of IEEE Computer Society and IEEE Bangalore chapter. He is also a life member and past honorary secretary of Advanced Computing and Communication Society, and also a member of Advanced ACM. He has also been a global member Internet Society and a member of Internet Research Task Force. He has received outstanding awards from IEEE Outstanding Award for 3rd IEEE Science and Grid Computing 2007 and the 10th IEEE HPCA in Computing. He has also received the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Gold Medal for Research and Experience in the year 2017 by JIPRA, New Delhi. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, all. Yeah, that was a very long introduction. So I would like to sort of, it's my privilege to sort of say the genesis of this particular thing. I think only 3 of us in this crowd are there from the day one. So that is Santosh, myself, and Balaji. So it gives me that much privilege that I'll be talking on this. So we started this journey in 2012, and before that also I think we were interacting with ICANN then. And we formally signed an intent of expression to work together, that is the Government of India and ICANN working together in this particular space. So that's how we started the journey. Of course, the intent of expression was for a particular duration, and in that particular intent of expression, we were supposed to work together on the awareness programs for this internet governance space, and trying to be part of all the committees of the internet governance and internet society area. So that was the intention, and we started this journey. Of course, we had one of the activities started in 2015, and this particular specific thing on DNS security was started in 2018. Of course, I wearing many hats, so from CDAC side, and then subsequently as a member of the Internet Research Task Force, and subsequently till I think last year I was the board member of NIXI. So since this is a part of NIXI as well as CDAC project, so we thought that we should start off in the research area of internet governance, and DNS happens to be a part and parcel of this. The theme at which we started was, at that time people were telling DNS means it was DNS sec. So that's how we started the journey. So is it DNS security, just DNS sec, or something else? So then we started with the tagline saying that DNS SSR, it was security, stability, and resilience. So in 2018, this was the theme under which we started, and that's how you see the conference. It was a part of the project that we should come out with the research publications and try to sort of share internationally what is the thing happening. As a part of that, the series version 1 conference took place in 2019. I think Director NIT happened to mention too much of emerging technologies into this particular space, and the threat from the technologies also which has to be looked into. So similar to that, we sort of saw that how DNS itself can create an attack vector. So it is a DNS itself can create an attack vector, and how this particular thing has to be looked at. And also it can be a part of the network where the other components also can exploit this particular thing and look into that thing. So that's how this particular program was started. And this is a second edition, and if you see all the papers which are there are current, and moving, starting from the edge, going up till the network, and trying to see the malicious domain areas. So that's how it has, this particular program has been dealt. This particular conference is to exchange the ideas on the research, which is a part and parcel of the academia, industry, and research institutions. So this is a brief thing which I just wanted to sort of mention how this started and where we are as on today. So I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now we move on to the panel discussion. The panel discussion is titled India, the Epicenter of Global Internet Economy. We have Shri Anil Kumar Jain, CEO NIXI, who will be moderating the session. A brief profile of Shri Anil Kumar Jain is actually currently working as a CEO and Director of National Internet Exchange of India, which is part of MeitY. He has spent 43 years in professional life, including 36 years as Indian Telecom Service Officer, and he has served in various organizations like Department of Telecom, BSNL, MTNL, etc. He is also serving on the board for almost 14 years till date. He has interest in various disciplines like telecommunication infrastructure, marketing, business development, next generation networking, broadband, etc. He has taken over several roles at the international forums, namely ICANN, IGF related to internet and broadband. Currently, he is the chair of UASG, ICANN, and vice chair of IDN CCPDP4 working group of the CCNSO. ICANN. He is also chair of the working group of design strategies for APTLDs, chair of the program committee of APTLD, and also a liaison officer between the CCNSO and GNSO of IDN working group. He is actively working in promoting internet in India. He is the chairman of India IGF since 2021, chairman of the multilingual working group forum of Government of India, and also the member of Internet Resilience Committee of the Government of India. He has recently started implementing recommendations of the multilingual committee for universal acceptance. And our next member of the panel is Shri Arvind Kumar, CCA, Government of India. Shri Arvind Kumar is the CC Controller of Certifying Authorities. He was earlier the Group Coordinator, R&D, Electronics and Cyber Security. He has envisioned several projects in public-private partnership mode with industry, startups, academia, and government. He had earlier served as the Director General of STQC. He did his Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical, Electronics, and Communication Engineering from IIT Delhi. He also did his MTech Management and Systems in IIT Delhi. He has rich experience in mentoring startups in ICT and cybersecurity. We have Ms. Asha Nangia, Madam, who is the Group Coordinator and Scientist G at MeitY. She is a graduate engineer in the field of electronics and communication from Delhi College of Engineering and has an experience of 20 years with STQC in testing of electronics and IT hardware products and components. She is a qualified lead assessor for ISO 9000 and 17025 certification. She has been instrumental in developing in the field of safety of testing at STQC laboratory in Delhi. She joined MeitY in 2010 and given her interest in electronics hardware, she is deeply involved in formulating the schemes, technical regulations and other policy matters for the promotion of electronics hardware industry. At MeitY, Ms. Nangia is looking after the activities relating to the electronics and hardware manufacturing and internet governance. This assignment involves policy formulation, planning, coordination, and monitoring in the domains of electronic hardware, industry, and internet governance. So from industry side, we have Shri Venki Nishtala, who is the Chief Technology Officer of Rediff.com. For more than 2 decades. He is an alumnus of IIT Madras, where he obtained his master's degree in electrical engineering. Prior to Rediff.com, Venki was the managing director of Cybercash in India, an early internet pioneer of online payment system. Cybercash developed Cybercoin, the first cryptocurrency in the world. Rediff.com, hosted entirely in India since inception, offers information communication services to millions of consumers worldwide. Mr. Venki, along with the team at Rediff, also evangelizes and contributes to the growth of the internet infrastructure in India while establishing the first data center operations in India. He was the first to emphasize the need for an internet exchange in India. Rediff.com has also pioneered funding of startups which developed a technology and products to support Indian languages. Quillpad, the famous one, which is developed by Tachyon, it's also a startup founded by engineers from IIT Madras and IIIT Hyderabad. NewsHunt, now actually named as Daily Hunt, developed by Eterno Infotech in Bangalore, were some of the investee companies of him. Over to you, sir, and I pass on this thing to Shri Anil Kumar Jain, sir, to initiate the panel discussion.
Thank you, Balaji. Thank you, Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
And tell me how much time this panel has. We are already at almost 11 o'clock. So can I assume that around 35-40 minutes are there with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Very much, yes.
Thank you very much.
You, thank you.
Professor Lalit Awasthi, Director from NIT Uttarakhand. The team from CDAC, led by Mr. Sudarshan. Shri Arvind Kumar, CCA. Madam Asha Nangia, who is the Group Coordinator for Internet Governance and various other activities related to Internet from MeitY. My dear friend Venki from Rediff. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining this, and this is the first panel. And the interesting thing is that in the conference on internet research and engineering, the organizer has decided to discuss about the global internet economy. So first of all, thank you very much for the organizers who have given this opportunity to all of us to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, now I used to call that internet has become an essential part of all of us, as we used to call a essential requirement of a human being is roti, kapda, and makan. And I think now, along with roti, kapda, and makan, internet has become part and parcel of all of us. Now, when we are talking about part and parcel of the internet, it has to go into life of everybody. And it means that, these days, I have seen when children are, your guests are coming in your house, they don't ask, where is the bathroom? They say, what is the password of the Wi-Fi which is there in the house, so that they get connected with it. Sometime you must have seen that people are sitting in a room, 5 people are sitting in the room, but they are not talking. They are all busy on their mobile or their laptop, and they are interacting. So this is the life which all of us are leading today. Now, Honorable Prime Minister has given a target for Indian economy to grow from the existing situation to $5 trillion Indian economy by 25-26. And this is not an ambitious target any longer. We foresee that we are going to achieve this target very soon. And we are going to be the third largest economy in the world. And this is acknowledged not by we Indian who are planning, but I think it is acknowledged by the World Bank also. Coming to the $5 trillion economy, the biggest task which is given by Honorable Prime Minister and the politicians to all of us who are sitting in the room and who are listening online is the digital economy. And $1 trillion is the target for digital economy for this country to grow. Now, to grow the digital economy, there are several factors which works on this. Number one is the connectivity. And we have seen that India has 1.2 billion internet connections. Good number of them, or most of them, are on 4G. 5G has already started entering into the system. And now today, the world is acclaiming India to be the fastest rollout 5G nation in the world. So this talk about how the connectivity is progressing and how the people of India are embracing the new technology. The second thing is that now we are talking about developing the infrastructure, which is a world-class infrastructure. If we talk about products which are taken out by MeitY, like Aadhaar, like UPI, like the Gati Shakti. So now these are the platform, the technological base which government is now preparing to ensure that tomorrow, when the digital economy is reaching at the $1 trillion digital economy, we should not have any problem, or we should not look at the other part of the world to supply those things to us. The third part is that when we are constructing big platforms like UPI or Aadhaar, we have to see that where the technology is coming and where the manufacturing is happening. So I'm very happy, and I think you must noted that there is a scheme called PLI scheme which Government of India has started few years back, and the results are fantastic. We never saw so much manufacturing activities which are happening in India, and not only in electronic, but I think in every area of this world. Do for manufacturing or making the products and giving to the people and delivering this product to the people. In the last 1 year, you must have seen that now India is not looking only within India, but we are going beyond India. It means that now we are approaching to various countries, showcasing the strength which we have with us, and we are also trying to export the digital technologies which are being developed in India. So this is a very interesting phase, ladies and gentlemen, in which we are living. Daily we are looking at various products which are, for example, booking a car or purchasing any daily item at home, or even purchasing the industrial product and the organization product digitally. So I think in this scenario, the next phase I think we have to work is on the research and development. Many people like for example, NIT Uttarakhand or CDAC are the research organizations. Similarly, a lot of research organizations are picking up, and MeitY is also committed that contribution of India to the international community in research and development should be of the level at which the digital economy is growing, at which the broadband customers are growing, at which the interest of the people in the digital economy is growing. So now, with these initial words, I have three very prominent panelists with us. Madam Asha Nangia, a well-known personality in MeitY policy and development and implementation of those policies in the country. We have Arvind, who not only is highly qualified, but has rich experience in implementing those technologies and those parts to all of us. And Venki, which represent from those industry, and specifically that company which is pioneered in data centers, emails, and whatever we think is relevant with us. So what I suggest, one by one, I request all panelists to give their opinion on the subject, which is a very interesting subject, is Epicentre of global Indian internet economy in 2023 and 24, what is there? And then once it is there, then I'll ask one question from all the panelists, and then it will be open for the audience to ask question from the panelists, including myself. So first of all, I request Madam Asha Nangia to give her opinion on the subject. Over to you, Madam.
Good morning, everyone. Dear members of the Internet stakeholder community and cybersecurity professionals from far and wide, good morning, one and all. I extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this panel discussion on India at the epicenter of global Internet economy. To my fellow panelists, Mr. Arvind Kumar, CCA, Govt of India, Mr. Venki Nishtala from Rediff, and our moderator, Mr. Anil Jain, CEO NIXI. I'm delighted to be amongst you all today as we set the stage for the second edition of the International Conference on Internet Research and Engineering in 2023. It's an outstanding achievement that this initiative organized by the CDAC Bangalore with devoted support from NIXI and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is witnessing support and participation from the technical communities across the globe. This itself speaks volumes of our country's capacity to assemble us all here to exchange our ideas on the complexities and continued evolution of all things Internet. This leads me to share my thoughts on this panel's topic, India at the epicenter of global Internet economy. There is no doubt that India is fast emerging as the global leader in technological advancements. With the immense stakeholder participation, extensive international presence, array of vibrant technical developments, far-reaching market advancements, and supportive policy frameworks. Various countries, competing economies are looking towards Indian expertise in the digital space. This path to success had its own share of challenges, but the eagerness of our country to transform have led us to soaring heights. India today boasts of Digital India program, which envisions a transformed India by digitally empowering the society and creating a knowledge economy. BharatNet project, which is one of the biggest rural telecom projects ever implemented in the world, enabling connectivity and access to rural and remote India. unified payment interface, which is one of the world's most successful payment systems in terms of number of user adoption, volume of transactions, and the number of transactions. Today, Indians are key stakeholders at various global forums for internet, as well as our ministry's secretary, Mr. Alkesh Sharma, being the panel member of UN Secretary General's Internet Governance Forum Leadership Panel, is a triumph for all of us. These are few from a long list of India's remarkable achievements. The internet is widely regarded as one of the best technological innovations of all time. It's a network of voluntarily connected government, private, and academic networks that serves a common purpose of sharing information, getting latest news, facilitating e-commerce, facilitating communications, and countless other purposes. Like Mr. Jain mentioned, internet has become a part and parcel of our daily life. Even with a modest approximation, fueled by new and emerging trends and technologies like IPv6, IoTs, cloud computing, digital payments, 5G, metaverse, blockchains, Web 3.0, etc. Overall, the global internet has turned out to be a critical enabler for economic, society, and nations. It's to note that golden age of India's digital revolution is envisioned within the principles of open, safe, trusted, and accountable internet, for which all of us are here, our guardians and beneficiaries alike. To keep the internet open and accessible, we must ensure safety and security to its users so that the data we have is safe and secure. In understanding this, the Government of India has taken up some key domain name system abuse mitigation initiatives and is continuously scaling up security measures in the Internet of Users. NIXI's one-of-a-kind novel initiative for incorporating stringent KYC measures for .in domain name registrars bears special recognition. This is to identify the registrars to whom they are giving the accreditation or the domain. India has the second largest number of internet users due to its large population research. Today, we have a 1.4 billion population. However, at the same time, a large number of Indians are still unconnected because they are not conversant in English. However, at the same time, this is also partly due to the fact that they don't speak or understand the English language, as most of the data on the internet is in English, which still dominates world's wide web, internet's websites, email software, and even hardware. So to enable them, we have to work together. However, things are changing fast during the past few years, thanks to this initiative like universal acceptance and multilingual acceptance. Universal acceptance is a paramount for both GTLDs and CCTLDs. India CCTLDs also supports IDN and EI support in 22 official Indian scheduled languages. India being a multilingual country, coupled with the fact that a large percentage of India's population is not yet online, providing efficient internet access to all these users will require policy-backed technological solutions, apart from merely internationalized or multilingual content. Localized domain names and email addresses need to be part of this technical and policy solutions. Having said this, it is pertinent to mention that for continued development of global internet and for India to continue this momentum, we must collectively invest in massive digital infrastructure projects so that the benefits afforded by the internet can be equitably distributed. As we all know, that government is promoting electronics manufacturing and also in other sectors, but for this internet, electronics manufacturing is more important. So we have an ambitious target of 300 billion by 25-26, and we are very hopeful that we'll be able to achieve this. And interesting statistics I came across is that in 2019, around 19% of the people in the least developed countries use the internet, as compared to the 87% in developed countries. This reinforces the importance of investment in the digital technologies. I would like to stop here, and I eagerly look forward to the thoughts of my fellow panelists on the topic and voice their thoughts on India's progress in the internet economy so far. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, madam. And you have actually scaled the complete spectrum of the digital economy and the digital world which is being worked out in the country. And I think looking and listening from you, it appears that we are ready not only for tomorrow, but we are getting ready for the next 2 decades to lead the world in the digital economy. Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing this information with us and also leading yourself on all, several initiatives from Government of India. Thank you. Now I'm coming to Mr. Arvind Kumar, who is the Controller of Certifying Authority. And as Balaji has said, and as Sudarshan has also said, certifying authority means that giving the keys which justify and certify the users, the data creators, and also the people who are originating the data. So this gives a stamp of why it is important. And as you must have seen that most of the speakers before me, including Professor Lalit Awasthi or Madam Asha Nangia, or even it is touched by Dr. Sudarshan, that cyber security is becoming a very, very important part, and CCA play a very, very important part in this. So let us listen from Shri Arvind Kumar, a eminent person in this field, how we are getting it prepared and how the CCA is supporting the growth of digital economy. Over to you, Mr. Arvind Kumar.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, good morning to dignitaries on the dais. Good morning. Good morning to dignitaries on the dais and Mr. Jain connected online, Asha Madam, Venki, and the participants coming from industry, academia, and the government. I think in the previous speakers have covered a lot more about the growth of not only internet technologies but the technologies at large. Hello. Okay. So if you look at the kind of growth which internet economy is growing at, looking at some of the statistics, we can easily see that in 2015-16, the 5%, 5.6% of the India's GDP was coming out of the internet economy. And if you look at in 2020, in the 5 years later, we have a contribution of 16%, which of the GDP is given through this technology, out of which 8% was given by the various applications which are being used on the internet. The internet economy contribution of $537.4 billion to India's GDP in 2020, of which if we look at 270.9 billions coming out of the apps, and we can see these apps are contributing almost 70% to the mobile traffic. So year on year, if we see the growth, we can see the internet economy is estimated to grow at 50% in 2021, and it's poised to touch $1 trillion by 2030, according to the report of Rediff Consulting. So there's a huge potential, there's a huge growth of internet technologies. While we look at the various kind of new technology platforms which are coming up, and they are providing a lot of initiative in new applications, new usage of the technologies. At the same time, there are challenges, and the challenges have to be met. It is strongly felt that if they are rapidly growing in the internet, use of internet is a global economy factor, there is a need for the trust. The trust is one of the very important factor for the stable growth of global internet economy. And we find that trust can only be provided through various policies, technologies, and the laws which are going to be in place. In India, you find the controller of certifying authorities, the CCA, under the IT Act, has been empowered to provide electronic trust in transactions for protection of data and the protection of information on the internet. India is already leading in this area for a long time, and all digital transactions, they are conducted through internet technologies, IoT and devices are already covered under the IT Act governed by the Controller of Certifying Authorities. So, if you look at CCA is the real fulcrum of the digital trust, which is working for the strengthening and enriching the continuously through the changing landscape of technology in the internet domain. So, TCA plays a very crucial role in building the trust in internet and enhancing the internet economy through its oversight and regulation of digital certificates and public key infrastructure. Just to give you a brief that CCA has been established under Section 17 of the IT Act, and we have been given authority to institute Root Certifying Authority of India. We are the root for the digital signatures in the country under Section 18B, and we in turn provide we sign that the public signatures of the CA certifying authorities by the private key of the CCA, and that's how the user is able to establish that the signature which is getting is coming through the trusted root chain of the CCA itself. It builds the trust in the use of internet technologies. Besides licensing, regulation, auditing, controlling the certifying authorities in the country, we also regulate the CAs by giving them prescribing them the kind of use of technology, the use of standards, the use of the various kind of the processes which they need to set up, including the form and the format of the digital signature which they can use, which is acceptable in the country. So in nutshell, if we look at for creating a trust in the digital environment, there has to be an identity of the individuals who are interacting. The identity should be verifiable. The identity should be verified by an independent third party, and CAs are doing that role under the overall control of CCA, and IT Act provides that kind of provision. So digital signature certificate qualifies all these features which provides trust on the internet. If you look at today's technology of public key infrastructure is an acceptable global technology which is being used by the government of India in the various through the various certifying authorities, and this is providing not only the privacy, authentication, integrity, non-repudiation, but they are also considered better than the signed signatures because they have all these factors included into that. E-sign is another activity which is a very innovative way of signing which has been introduced and which is largely used in various public digital public infrastructure today. If you look at the various success stories of the Digital India program, whether it is UPI or it is a GEM, government e-market, or you look at Aadhaar or any situation, you will find the success of all these basic platforms is due to the signatures which are provided, digital signature which are provided through the root of trust, that is the controller of certifying authorities. So in India, we have established such kind of infrastructure which not only provide trust, it provides trust of the global standards. We follow the global best practices of Web Trust. We follow the standard of ETSI and other, besides using the IT Act. So in India, we insist on the cryptographic operations and the keys should be certified to the FIPS standards, which is the FIPS 140 standards, and they should also comply to common criteria standards for various technologies. Control of certifying authorities, we have initiated a program of indigenization of the complete ecosystem of trust, which is going to be provided in the digital domain. We are looking not only for indigenization of each and every components of this ecosystem, but also looking at the global compliance to the international standards of common criteria, FIPS, or any other international standards. With NIXI, we are establishing the SSL route. Soon you will have the SSL certification for being done in India through the trust of CCA office. You will find that this is again established in compliance to the global standard of Web Trust. Certainly, if you look at the kind of growth which we are expecting in this internet domain, the kind of research which is required, the kind of engineering which is required, it definitely in the area of building trust, besides providing using different technologies in place. So the research activities in the area of providing trust through various mechanisms, through various kind of techniques of not only encrypting but providing the trusted channels such as secured communications. This is very important, and I think they all can be embraced under the IT Act regulation and will be acceptable under the CCA program. So this is one area wherein we need, India should have large amount of research in this area. So the growth is one part, but at the same time, growth is successful and stable only when we have a trust underlying into this. So I think the time has come that we should start contributing in this area of building trust for the internet, which will only provide us moving forward. As we know, the internet has got no boundaries. CCA office, we have already started working on compliance to the not only global standard, but going for mutual recognitions. We are creating a platform, we are creating frameworks for global corporations. In the G20 and G7, we have actively participated, and we would like to have the common uniform standards for signature across the globe, so that there is no repetition of the trust signatures given in the different countries of export or import. This will definitely facilitate the overall trade and commerce between various countries. I think the growth of internet for using various kind of activities, resulting in the increase in the trade, in that underlines the requirement of trust, and trust for trust. We are the body in the country authorized under the Act to provide such kind of situation. I think the research and development in this area is very, very important. I think we look forward to such kind of initiative through academia for various research institutions, and we would like to have them validated and embraced under the Indian system of trust. That's what I want to convey in this. Thank you.
Digital economy and digital system which we are planning. Now, it is a very, very important that, whenever I touch any mobile and I put my financial data or my personal data, I have a fear whether this particular data is a possibility for stolen or not. Similarly, when somebody is putting their entire organization data in a data center and the data is moving from one place to another place, there is a fear factor. And you are right, sir, when you said that internet is not localized, it is a global phenomena. And it has no boundaries. The data flows from one part of the world to another part of the world without any restriction. So I think trust factor is a very, very important aspect for building an internet. And that is why Government of India is now promising an open, safe and trusted and accountable internet to the citizen of this country. Thank you very much for sharing your thought and the complete work on this. Now I'm coming to Venki. Now, whenever government make a plan for any project like digital economy, a lot of work is required to be done by the private industries. But when private industries undertake this work, they definitely see the business plan, and they don't take any work initially which is philanthropic or social in term, but they definitely see is there any future for the industry which is going ahead. And now we see that a lot of industries are joining in the process of ensuring that digital economy of this country is very strong, not within country but globally. So I think there are a lot of factors which we want to learn and understand from a person who has a long experience in internet. I think he's working in Rediff for more than 2 decades as CTO. So very, very, very interesting to listen from him. Over to you, Venki, on this particular day and on this particular topic.
Thanks, Mr. Jain. I have a short presentation. I want to lend a different perspective on the internet economy. Okay, slightly different perspective. Not very technical. Okay, let me start the presentation here. Okay, 1 second. So, can you see my slide there? Hello?
No, sir, we are not able to see your slide till now.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay, man. Let me go through that slide myself, and I'll learn a bit on the slides.
Sir, you can try now.
Yeah. So now, the question I was asking myself is, are we really an epicenter of the economy into global internet economy?
Sorry for interrupting, sir. You can try sharing the presentation now.
I can start sharing now. 1 second. Okay. We'll see it now.
Yes, sir. Now your presentation is visible to us.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the question is, are we really the epicenter? Okay. Or are we a global crucible? The question I'm asking is because we, in terms of the size of the infrastructure, we are still a long way to go. Okay, but in terms of the complexity, we have all the complexities of the internet services. Okay, so it's like play a word, but that necessary to understand that we really a global crucible. Most of the global companies will tell you that they are in India because India is the future market. So we're really still in an experimental stage. Okay. Early Indian portals like us and the ticketing services ran on fumes, basically, the kind of reserve fuel in a car, for example, where the internet infrastructure was very, very in the nascent stage. So we are literally running on fumes. Okay. But now the thing has changed. But now India leads the world with the biggest personal identification system and the busiest payment system. Okay, there's the biometric Aadhaar and UPI, which are designed for billions. Okay, not just for India, it will work not just in India but around the world. And then the technology can be being used by other countries in the world. In that sense, we are contributing to the global economy. Okay, the technology that we developed along with the global players is being used. Okay, and then it's this is really the backbone of our digital economy today. Everyone will agree. So the Indian infrastructure really, in the earlier days, I used to complain a lot about the Indian infrastructure in terms of the data centers and other places. But what I've learned is that Indian infrastructure growth followed the demand because as a developing country, we cannot put upfront capital, okay, unless there is a demand. Okay, we have to let the growth happen where there is a demand. Okay, so that's what actually we have grown organically and thanks to some brilliant innovation like Aadhaar and UPI systems, and then also all the associated services that they came along, like the early gentleman was saying, the certifying authorities and the regulators, everybody else. So what are the challenges that I'm not going to take too much of time in terms of what needs to be done. What are the things that we have done, but I'm going to address some of the challenges that we still face here. Okay, there's intense competition for hireable skills, vocational and expert. Okay, that we need to address today, and there is an opportunity as well. So we've seen a lot of online services available through apps, other means, a lot of colleges as well, but we still have an intense competition for hireable skills, vocational and expert, for the pace at which we are growing. Because India also the world also looks at India for a cost-effective solution, and we don't have enough number of skills, data centers need cost-effective power, both compute and storage. I want you to think for a minute here. If I can think for a minute, we have 400 plus gigawatts of installed capacity, power, okay, including renewable energy. But we struggle to meet 200 plus gigawatts of demand because of the power generation and transmission systems are still have to evolve. Okay, I know that the power grid has got completely integrated now. But this has to happen. There's a lot of work to be done on the power infrastructure side. Okay, thanks to a lot of reforms and then processes, and this is coming out of the ICU, the power sector. But I think there's a lot of room, a lot of work to be done there. Okay, and a lot of innovation as well. when you're using the renewable energy, there's a lot of technology development and innovation required. Okay. And cloud computing needs very high bandwidth. Okay, even though you move all the data to the cloud, you need to move workloads, and it requires that very high bandwidth across the clouds and to the clouds. And currently, the costs are uncompetitive for the enterprises. For the end users like us, they are very competitive thanks to platforms like Jio and Airtel and Vodafone. Okay, but for the enterprises level, we are still uncompetitive. And telecoms extend the business models to platform for growth and profits because they subsidize the customers so much. They have to extend the business models of platforms or the platforms for growth and profits. And then one of the people who fund that is the enterprises, and then including the government, of course. We need internet exchanges and SD-WAN, software-defined wide area networks. Software-defined wide area network really is virtualized network over the telco networks. It will help to scale up quickly, and also to ensure that the platforms and clouds by themselves do not fragment the internet. They have to interconnect completely, and the only way to achieve this integration is through virtual integration. Okay. And unless this virtual integration is done, there will be a threat to the net neutrality. I had a slide that I had made before, where I had said that one of the prime movers of this internet growth in the country has been a 2015 regulation by TRAI on net neutrality. They mandated net neutrality. Okay. It was a big, if you go into the articles in 2015, you'll see that. So with TRA stepped in and said, look, net neutrality is mandated in India. Okay. And then in 2016, we had a huge explosion of mobile broadband with 4G. One player came in with a completely 4G network. Okay. And made the 4G broadband, mobile broadband affordable. And that actually enabled Aadhaar and UPI. You know the story. I'm not going to repeat too much of that. And we also have to do some de-risking, okay, on the way we are doing things. I think we innovated in policies and investment and regulation and which favored the wireless growth infrastructure. The government, from time to time, has taken on that burden, collected the money, as well as taken on the burden of ensuring that the wireless infrastructure grows. We also have a 4G 5G stack, indigenous 4G 5G stack, and the rollout is happening very, very rapidly. But we also know that 5G offers as much opportunities. It also has risks of coverage restraints, okay, due to the kind of buildings and other infrastructure that we have. High frequency radio frequencies, you know that they have coverage constraints. There are costs, because upfront costs which telcos have put in terms, and then they have to retain the costs, and though the cost can be, end user cost can still go up. Every day the telcos talk about increasing the prices, okay. And there is also the attendant risk of security. Okay, that actually is not necessarily unique to wireless. I think it will be there. And we also have fiber broadband rollouts are still threatened with the cost of right of way. I mean, it is very expensive for the telcos to roll out the fiber broadband. Okay, and there are operational risks on the streets. I mean, everyone understands what the risks are. Like the local competitors cut each other's cables. Okay, that happens. That's quite rampant in every neighborhood in the country. So there may be time to relook the balance, the bandwidth demand with the public optic fiber network. We had established a Bharat broadband network to the rural areas, okay, using the universal service obligation fees that was collected over years. But now we need to look at whether the need for a public optic fiber network, and then secured and managed by the public-private operation, the way the airports are operated. Okay, and that's very, very crucial to offload the wireless demands and to ensure the continuity of the services. It's very, very crucial. We also know that as much as good as the internet is today, we still have spurts of disconnections. Okay, and then there's always sometimes whenever there's a cricket match, we can see that those things happening and things are getting choked. Things get choked. Okay, So when the economy is so much dependent on the internet infrastructure, we need to ensure that we do everything to ensure the continuity. Okay. And then next, of course, the digital inclusion. The Jain, actually, we covered this topic a number of times in the meetings. English language is integrated globally, but it denies opportunities to a large population in India. Okay, because we still don't offer enough language services on the internet. No audio. We heard many speakers in the past say that audio video content in Indian languages, because that's not enough. We know that very clearly. Education and training in Indian languages is necessary to accelerate the skill development. Absolutely required. Okay, and in this way the research can help, and then or adoption of the technologies can help. Whether the large language models, also known as AI nowadays, AI is a lot more than language model, will help generate such content is an interesting challenge. I think CDAC can actually contribute very uniquely here. The scale of problems needs, we know that, because we just don't have enough time to catch up on the creation of the content. Okay, so we need the machines to solve that problem for us, creation of the content. So Jain, I think that's how much we have, but I think now I have every hope that we'll become here.
Thank you. Thank you, Venki. Thank you very much. I think the important message which has come from Venki's presentation, number one, is that industry is appreciating the policies, investment, and the security aspect, regulation aspect of various work with respect to digital transformation which is happening. So it is heartening to note. Second, I think industry is now ready to explore in the way which we are talking, because manufacturing, I said initially, but data center growth is tremendous in India, and with the Government of India MeitY plan for providing the incentive to the data center, I think data centers are growing like anything in the whole country. Third, when we are talking about proliferation of telecom technologies, we are now looking at the day when every home should have a fiber. And once every home is wired with the fiber, the next phase of technology in the country should come very well. And the last thing which is important, which is now touched upon by Madam Asha Nangia also, and which is touched by Venki also, that we have to look at the multilingual internet, because 88% of we Indians do not converse in English. And think about that, if those 88% is brought to the fold of internet, the kind of contribution this internet can have on GDP will be tremendous. Now, since we are quite close to the close of the panel, now to make all these things possible, a study MGI says that there is a potential of financial services to get a growth of 170 times. Similarly, a growth potential in job and skill is expected to be 70 times. Agriculture sector can be boosted by 70 times, and education 50 times, logistics 30 times, and retail almost 12 times growth with the growth of internet. Now, to manage everything, we need manpower, we need skills, we need people who should be able to handle it. Young boys and girls who are coming forward and to join this bandwagon need to be trained. So my question to all the panelists, one by one, and I request all of them to give only 2-sentence answer. How to equip ourselves in the capacity building of internet and internet governance in next 5 years. So first, I'm requesting Arvind to give his opinion on capacity building in internet and internet governance.
I think it's a nice question. It's a real need in the times to come as we are estimating the growth. I think the capacity building should not only be addressed at the academia level, like we should have such kind of programs in our academic teaching programs, maybe at the higher level of the schools and then to the degree colleges. But we should also have some kind of focused institutions across country for the working professionals. And because as technology is changing and we moving towards from industry 4.0, 5.0, all ICT is getting combined and some of the older technology is getting obsolete over a period of time. So there should be a chance of adopting those the workforce to the new area of technologies. So there should be some institution focused on providing such kind of capacity building. Besides having program in at the academics level, at the senior secondary level, and the graduation level, and because this is as we have seen and which we will be seeing in the future, internet had touched upon each and every individual on the globe. So I think that's a dire need for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind. Thank you very much for giving your opinion and your thought process on this. Over to respected Madam Asha Nangia on this question. Ma'am, you are muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Sorry.
Yes.
So everybody agrees that yes, there is a huge potential and we are working at a rapid pace in the internet domain, but we all are working in silos. So presently we have to work together and we have to come out with an institutional mechanism and which will focus on all the related areas. Like we have to create awareness about that. We have to do the consultations with all the stakeholders on the public policies. We have to look for the different funding the different R&D projects on technological innovations and whatever, because security is most important. So we should try to use as much as possible the indigenous products that are related to internet also. And presently, like if you are aware that we have in Delhi, in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, and also in Delhi, we have a vibrant ecosystem of technological business, research institute, incubators, and accelerators. So they are all collaborating and driving technological developments in different fields. So we have to nurture those areas in other cities also. It should not be limited to those only. And this will, whatever is required to that, maybe we have to facilitate them through various capacity building programs, various R&D initiatives, and we have to take everyone along. But this has to be a structured approach. Working in silos and maybe one division doing something, one organization doing something is not going to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. I think it's a wonderful thought process which you said that we have to work in a very systematic, structured way to ensure that proper capacity building is available at all. Venki, your views on this capacity building?
Yeah, actually, I answered a couple of comments on the chat here.
Yes.
Someone is asking, how do you ensure that the carbon emission is controlled when you are expanding the data centers? I think the need for looking at the distribution and transmission capacity, okay, for the renewable energy plants. We know that because the utilization of this renewable energy capacity that we have, there's a huge installed capacity, and also the people offer very low cost. But I think the wheeling of that capacity to the endpoint actually is a challenge. Okay, when I heard it from multiple data center operators, they use the current power grid, okay, which increases the cost. So that's one looking at augmenting the power grid infrastructure to transmit the power. I think will ensure that the data center infrastructure will grow. Okay, and the second one, of course, licensing, Mr. Jain, actually, in terms of, I won't say licensing, it is permitting some of these internet exchanges to grow. Okay, what they allow you to do is please to do virtualization of the network over the current telco networks. Okay, we use actually, we connect to the telecom networks directly today or through ISPs. Okay, there are newer solutions, software-defined services. Okay, which SD-WANs and then software-defined solutions actually allow you to virtualize and optimize the cost, optimize for cost as well as efficiency of the various telcos. Okay. For example, one telco is actually, for example, streaming the cricket content every point, every place, and it's choking. The enterprise for example, can use can route the traffic through another telco. Okay. Now it can't take a contract with the telco to telco, so that we need the intermediaries, the virtualized players, okay, so the software-driven network players, okay, as carriers for this bandwidth. So I think some of the policies need to be fleshed out in detail. I'll share some notes with you also. That actually is required for capacity building. Like I said, there's a demand now for capacity. I think we need to address the next set of policies that are required for what kind of newer players in the economy are required to address the problems. Because the current incumbents, okay, the telcos and other guys, will look for returns on the investments. Okay, they may not look at Indian infrastructure capacity build. Okay, they may do. So you need newer players actually to come and invest in newer technologies. With newer technologies, solve the problems. I think in a different sense, there's a huge motivation for startups that should include the infrastructure play. Hopefully, I might point. Yeah.
Thank you, Venki. Thank you very much. Not only sharing the question, but I think you have also answered the chat questions which are coming. And there is another question which is coming in the chat, whether the quantum computing is a reality or not. Definitely, quantum computing is a reality. And as our chief guest initially in his address has said that quantum computing is going to help in not only the security aspect, but resolving a lot of organization and personal questions much faster than what we are going to do. Now we are already over time, but I think we can give one chance to the audience to raise one question or to the panel. Anybody from the audience who want to ask any question from the panelists? Balaji, please help us in case there is anybody, any question in there.
There is one question, sir.
Yeah, please. Please introduce yourself, your company, and then ask a question, and also the panelists to whom you want to ask the question.
Good morning. Myself is Dr. Ompal, Associate Professor from University of Delhi and ex-scientist of MeitY. Actually, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली जस्ट मैं लास्ट वीक ही ज्वाइन किया है, इससे पहले तो MeitY में ही था मैं। एक्चुअली जो मेरा क्वेश्चन है, लास्ट नवंबर में अरुणाचल के जो बॉर्डर एरियाज हैं उसको मैंने विजिट किया था। तो एक्चुअली जो मेरा विजिट था वो था कि बॉर्डर एरिया के जो विलेजेज हैं उसमें गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कैसा है। और अब जैसे बॉर्डर एरिया है तो वहाँ पर इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, इसको भी मैंने असेस किया। तो एक्चुअली जो मेरी फाइंडिंग्स थी, ओनली 20% जो बॉर्डर एरिया विलेजेज हैं अरुणाचल प्रदेश में उसमें इंटरनेट है, ओनली 20% बॉर्डर एरिया में। और बहुत से तो विलेजेज ऐसे हैं जिनमें इलेक्ट्रिसिटी भी नहीं है, जैसे हेटमैन विलेज है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आज तक नहीं है। और मेरे से पहले 10 साल पहले कोई गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर वहाँ विजिट किया था। उसके बाद लास्ट विलेज है रंग हिल विलेज, उसमें भी कोई ना इंटरनेट है और ना ही इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है। और जैसे किमयांग ब्लॉक की बात करूं तो वहाँ भी ऐसे ही हालात हैं। तो जिस मेरा एक्चुअली पॉइंट ये है कि जो भी बॉर्डर एरिया के जो विलेजेज हैं, जो 20% ओनली इंटरनेट का कवरेज है, उसके लिए हमारी आगे प्लानिंग क्या है। एक्चुअली जो मेरी फाइंडिंग्स थी वो 15 पेज का रिपोर्ट मैंने MHA को सबमिट किया है, लेकिन जस्ट अब आगे के लिए जैसे जो हमारी ये कॉम्पोनेंस है इंटरनेट के ऊपर है, तो अब जो भी बॉर्डर एरिया के विलेजेज हैं उनका काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, चाहे आपका कोई राशन कार्ड बनना हो या कोई ट्रांजेक्शन होना हो, मतलब तो उनको हम कैसे आगे, हमारी प्लानिंग क्या है इंटरनेट को सॉर्ट आउट करने के लिए? थैंक यू.
Thank you. So let me answer your question. This is more related to telecom. And the answer is that yes, most of the telecom service providers, they claim that they have already covered more than 99% of the geographical area of this country. But you're right, the process which Government of India is working on taking fiber to every village, which is in progress. We hope that the area which you are talking should get covered when fiber reaches to those villages and those towns. And Government of India is planning to cover all 600,000 villages in the country by 24. So hopefully by that time we will have the internet available in those villages also. There are villages which are either remote villages or they are hilly areas where taking not only costly but it is difficult also. So I agree with you that still a good number of population is unconnected with internet, and few of them maybe with the electricity. I hope that we have to work very hard to reach and to take over technologies to that level. Thank you very much for wonderful question, and we had wonderful discussions during this panel. I request all audience to please give a big clap and applause for the panelists who have given us their big thoughts and work on this particular topic. Thank you very much, and over to the organizer, Dr. Balaji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Actually, it was a wonderful discussion. You have brought out, the panelists, all the members have brought out a multitude of vectors which are actually imminent and as essential for this particular to make India as the epicenter of the global internet economy. So now it's my turn to propose the vote of thanks. I'm honored and privileged to do that. My sincere thanks to first Professor Lalit Awasthi, the guest from NIT, the chief guest from NIT Uttarakhand, for taking his time out from his busy schedule and also traveling all the way for this particular program, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are seriously as a team, we are fully indebted to Sri Anil Kumar Jain, CEO, NIXI, who has been encouraging and supporting us. And he has been providing a number of inputs and guidance for this, not only for this conference program, in fact, for this entire project. And he has been our motivator for various aspects of this project. And actually, I had a lot of discussion. We had been having a lot of discussion with him, especially these titles and topics, whatever we picked up for the panel discussions, actually has stemmed up from his discussions that we had in earlier conversations with him. Thanks to you, sir. And I should also, I'm happy to mention that he said to me that NIXI will be happy to support the future editions of this conference program also. Basically, he wants to make this event as not only as India's contribution to the global internet community, academic community. That's what we had discussed. And we are also indebted to entire staff at NIXI who have been supporting us and behind this program. We thank the CCA, Sri Arvind Kumar sir, for his constant support and encouragement, which has always been there for us, and today also it is there. Thanks, sir. And we also thank his entire team, Sri Ashish Banati sir, Sri Burman sir, and Sri Shamsuddin Khan sir, who will also come and joined this program with us. And we also thank Asha Nangia madam for supporting us in various activities of this project and this conference program. We thank madam for taking your precious time out despite in the midst of an important meeting for this program. I thank Sri T. Santosh sir, as Bindumal sir has clearly told. He has been the person in various IG-related activities. He's been with us for more than a decade now. I exactly remember 2013, I think he was there. And we are today in 2023. Thank you, Santosh sir, for that. Thanks to Sri Venki Nishtala sir for accepting our invitation and sparing your precious time and making a wonderful presentation during this particular program. And I thank our Executive Director, Dr. S.D. Sudarshan sir, who has been the pillar of support and encouragement for us. In fact, Dr. Sudarshan sir was part of the first edition of this conference program, I say 2019, which happened in Bangalore. He had a different role, but of course he was in a different role at that point of time. I thank Sri Bindu Madhava sir for his valuable suggestions and guidance that we have received from time to time, not only for this particular program, but throughout the years. And of course, pulling off an event as a small small team from Bangalore would not have been possible without the support of my colleagues. There are a number of people who have been working behind it, and of course, they have been there throughout several months. But at least I would like to take a couple of names here. Mr. Gopinath, Mr. Anup Kumar, Dr. Sanjay, Mr. Jitendra, Ms. Lavanya, Mr. Shubham Goyal, Mr. Ayush, and Mr. Vishal, who are also here as part of this team. And my other colleagues, Mr. Haribabu, Mr. Murali, Mr. Praveen, Mr. Abhay Jacob, and many others who have been supporting us in various aspects of this program. I also thank all the reviewers who have taken pain and effort for reviewing the papers in a very short span of time. All the authors who have submitted their papers to the conference, and the presenters who will be making presentations, the keynote speakers, and all the panel members who have been a part of this panel. Last but not the least, the audience who have taken your time out from your busy schedules. And also we thank your seniors who have nominated you for this program. And we thank all of you for being here. So before next as a step, we like to move to the felicitations. Now I request Dr. S.D. Sudarshan sir to felicitate to Professor Lalit Kumar Awasthi. Let's put the hands together. I request Sri Dr. S.D. Sudarshan sir to present a memento to Sri Arvind Kumar sir. I request Sri Ashish Banati sir. Oh, it's not there. Okay. I request Sri Burman sir to present a memento to Dr. Sudarshan sir. I request Sri T. Santosh sir to present a memento to Sri B.S. Bindu Madhava sir. I also request mementos to be presented to our online panelist, Sri Anil Kumar Jain sir, Sri Ms. Asha Nangia and Venki Nishtala. Maybe you can just show it as this thing. Let's put our hands together, please.
Venki sir, आपका.
Brilliant show.
Asha madam also.
Yeah, we'll hand it over later. So thanks to all of you. Tea is being served outside. Of course, we are running short of time. So I request all the participants to come.
The program will continue. Please take tea and comments.